Well, hello. This is Rosa, rcgkreations. How are you doing? Hubby is a little sick, so I'm making him some homemade chicken soup. And I don't have enough fresh celery and fresh carrots because this is totally came unexpected. But I do have some pressure canned. But what I'm going to do is, here's my celery, and I canned this back in 2020. And then here's my carrots. Now these are maple carrots, but we're going to be okay if it's got just a little bit, because it's not going to be enough for the entire soup to make a difference. But what I'm doing first is, it requires broth, chicken broth. And because this is really good juice, because it's been simmering in these vegetables, you don't want to waste your broth. So I am going to put them in a jar, the broth. Make sure they're drained pretty good. And then I'm going to put this back in the jar. See if I can do that without spilling it. I'm going to spill. Make sure, again, you're working with clean counters, clean utensils. Oh, I dropped one. I knew that was going to happen. I should have just put the strainer on it against it, and I'll do that with the carrots. But I'm making a big mess now. I've got water, juice, celery juice everywhere. Now, I'm not going to be putting this celery and the carrots because they've been simmering in water and they're kind of soft. They're not, yeah, they're soft. But I only want to heat them up and have a little bit of the broth flavor in there. Pick that part up. Let me get a towel because I made a big mess. Clean up my mess right quick here. Okay. Now let's get the carrots. All the carrots that I made have got maple. They're not any just plain carrots. Put that in there. Now I'm just going to, that's what I should have done the first time. That smells so good. You can smell this honey and the sugar from the maple syrup that I made my own maple syrup. Okay, so that part is done. So this is going to stay to the side. Now I need to get 16 cups of chicken broth. And I did this broth January of 22, so January of this year is, let me see if it's in focus with the glare. There we go. My chicken broth. Because you want to, gotta find my little open lip. There we go. Oh, let me get my measuring cup. You know what? I'm going to get a bowl. I'm going to do something else. Okay, I'm going to put this in here, and that'll be my extra syrup. So I need 16 ounces. Okay. You know, actually that made almost 16 ounces, but I don't want to use it all because I want more broth than anything. So I'm going to do 12 ounces of broth. And then I'm going to do 4 ounces to make a total of 16 ounces of the stock from the carrots and the celery. I put that in my stock pot. I don't need this one. We'll save that for later. That's going to go. Once you open your jar, once you've opened a jar and you're not going to use it all right away, put a lid on it and stick it in your fridge. And you definitely want to use it at least within no more than 2 weeks. Okay? And you just use it when you're cooking anything, rice, whatever it is that you're cooking. Okay, so these are going to get saved for later. And I'm going to add that into the pot about the last 15 minutes before the pot's ready. So this is only going to take 30 minutes to boil in the oven. Okay, then I have my chopped up chicken. So I'm going to put this on the stove and I'll bring you back at that next phase. Okay, the recipe asks for 3 cups of chicken, which has already been diced up. I got 2 in there because this is a 2-cup measuring bowl. So that's my 3rd cup. Now I'm going to put this on the stove, and it's going to simmer on medium for 30 minutes. So I'm going to set my timer. I'm going to start up, set my timer for 30 minutes, and then I'm going to set a timer for, 30, 20, 25, 30, 30. So 15, 20, yeah, 15 minutes. And then I'll add the celery. I'm going to dice up the celery and the carrots that are bite-sized pieces. And then I'm going to stick it in the pot. And so the last 15 minutes will be enough to heat up the veggies. And then the chicken broth will be ready. We'll bring you back to that next phase. Okay, we are back. I was reading my directions, and you got 3 cups of chicken broth, and I'd use my own home canned chicken broth. And then I've got diced up chicken, and it was 3 pounds of chicken. I got me some onions in here, sliced up onions. I sliced them up big because hubby can't handle onions, but he likes the flavor of them. I love onions, so I eat them. And these are my processed carrots from 2 years ago. And then my processed celery. I don't like the celery, but I like the flavor, so it's a trade-off. He don't like onions, and I don't like celery. I like raw celery. I don't like cooked celery. So I added a little bit of salt and pepper. It's been sitting a while because it's piping hot. But I wanted to show you. I went ahead and got one of those great big bags of Tyson chicken breast at the grocery store. And I went ahead, since I was already going to be using over half the bag anyway, I went ahead and chopped up all of it. And I'm going to freeze it. First I'm going to let it cool off. And then I'm going to freeze it. And it's going to be labeled boiled chicken. And I'm going to move this out of the way here. And that leftover, that leftover chicken broth and that leftover broth from the carrots and the celery that was processed a couple years ago, I went ahead and see that? I went ahead and used the rest of this. So this is enough for one. I'm thinking we probably make some chicken tacos with it and stuff. So I'm going to let it cool off. And then I'm going to put the whole thing, juice and everything, in a freezer safe container, label it, date it, put it in my freezer, and then guess what? All we got to do when I want to make some chicken tacos is add some chicken seasoning to it, taco seasoning mixed to it, stir it up, heat it up, and we're done. Nothing better than making 2 meals at the same time you make one. Now, I was prepared today to make one of my Green Chef menu meals, but when hubby called this morning and said he's having to go home, his boss is sending him home because he just doesn't feel good. Don't know for sure if it's a summer cold or so, but he's got a sore throat, no coughing, no fever, just body aches. So it's the beginning of something. We don't know for what. Hopefully it's not COVID, but if it is, it is. We have to deal with it. So he's quarantined in the back bedroom. And he's not allowed. I go, nope, you're not allowed to come out. So he's quarantined back there, and I will come and bring him meals and give him drinks and stuff, but he ain't allowed out because I don't want to get sick. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and have myself a bowl of this chicken soup, and it's really, really hot, so I have it on the plate. See, there you go. See that? But we're going to do my favorite part, the taste test. Okay, so I got the carrots, and I'm going to do this. I want to taste just the carrots by itself. Because remember, I used 2-year-old can, pressure can carrots. Great carrot flavor. I don't like the celery, but let me try one, just the celery by itself. You can definitely taste the celery is still there. So, you know what? You saw the label on the can, and I'll put a little pop-up picture of it. The labels on the cans that were processed in 2020. And today I came home unexpected. Had to rearrange my meal plans, but I got an easy meal. That's a piece of the celery. I don't like those little pieces there. Now let's take a piece of everything all together. The broth is really good. So let me have me a little onion, a little carrot, and a little celery. Now that's some good homemade, I'm sorry, let me finish chewing. This is some good homemade chicken soup, because you never know when you're going to need it. Now, of course, you can always pressure can this, and I'll do a video somewhere down the line of how I'm doing it, but I'm not going to do it anytime soon, because that's more for winter. But you never know. You can have chicken soup anytime you want to. But this is really yummy. I love the onion, celery, the carrot, the broth. Remember how I made that maple? This is maple syrup carrots. You just get a hint of the maple. Not much at all, but you definitely have the flavor of the celery, the flavor of the carrot, the flavor of the chicken, and that broth. Broth is good to drink. I like 1 or 2 teaspoons every day of broth. That helps boost your immune system. Do your own research. Do your own reading. Do what's best for you. But I thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and share. Don't forget to go in the description box. There'll be a full detail of the recipe, the ingredients, and the directions on how to make the soup. And I'll have a pop-up box of just the ingredients. But it's fairly simple. Chicken, carrots, celery, onions, broth. That's it. 5 things. So really simple, cut dry. So I probably won't do a pop-up box for something that simple. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit like, comment, and share, and we'll catch you in the next video. Bye-bye.